Welcome back to Talkin Shop with ShopSabre. I'm Brandon, back with the crew. I got Chad, Nick. Nick, you're back.
I'm back.
Travis, and Kai. Hey guys, how's everybody doing?
Nick must have not won a jackpot.
He did not win the jackpot. He's back.
I didn't put one single dollar bill in any type of gambling in Vegas.
Good man.
Yeah,
I would be the same way.
I don't do
Probably
much of it when
smart.
I'm down there, except for in July when we're at the AWFS show. I will do some gambling there.
You can't win though if you don't try.
I just use Jim's money.
It's cool to see that
Hey,
the
Jim.
underground tunnels exist.
Jim, I need $20 for parking. Oh yeah, and in the machine. Oh, sorry, I need $20.
That's what I'll do at AWFS. I'll take my food money and I'll just put it down at the blackjack table every day. One hand, the whole thing. I'm either eating good or I'm not eating.
That's solid. I like it.
One thing I do want to recognize is look how awesome this paper is stapled.
Oh
It's
my
like
God.
stapled together straight and right.
Speak for yourself.
great.
Mine's definitely not.
I don't know what they're talking about. There's no paper. We do all this off the top of our head. No, it's I tried really hard on yours because I know you give me crap about stapling every day because I apparently don't staple straight enough for you.
I like it.
I really don't care, to be completely honest with you. But no, you're back.
I'm
How was
back.
your vacation?
It was awesome.
Yeah?
We had a blast. We did a lot of stuff in 4 days.
By the way, that tunnel, the Tesla tunnel, that is scary.
It was maybe the weirdest thing I've ever done in my life. Like
Yeah.
you're going 30 miles an hour in this car through this little tunnel, but it feels like you're going like 95 because it's so small.
Yeah,
You're just zipping along and it's
dude, like
weird.
it was like I saw the tunnel and I'm like, man, like I'd get claustrophobic. Like I'm a race car driver and it looked like you were going stupid fast because there's nothing
Yeah.
around you to like base how fast you're going off of because the tunnel is just right next to the car.
And it's weird because you're like starting off in kind of like the basement of a parking ramp, and then you go up this little, ramp, and then over this hill and down into the tunnel. All of a sudden, you're like, "Oh my gosh, what is happening?" And then you zip through it for 30 seconds, and you come out on the other side. It's kind of neat.
Were you driving?
No,
Yeah.
it was. They had a bunch down there that you could just pay like $3 to ride in.
Yeah,
I
it just
this
drives
little
for
loop.
you.
The car drives for you.
They had a driver,
They
but
have
he
a
wasn't
driver,
doing anything,
yeah.
just kind of making sure nothing happened.
He's
Basically, in
just
case the car
expecting
goes
a tip.
crazy.
No, He's just sitting there expecting a tip.
Yeah, he's got his hand out the whole time. His hands aren't even on the steering wheel.
It was that 45-second ride across, like basically across the street, was enough. I couldn't imagine driving for hours at a time
Yeah.
in that thing, and it's just it wouldn't work.
That's crazy. That was pretty cool. But you guys do anything fun? Anything at all?
Went to a wild game
Yeah, we did. I forgot. Dude, I forgot that was this last weekend. That's awesome.
because it happened. It happened so quick.
Yeah, it was last weekend. We went to the employee appreciation event. Did you guys feel appreciated after it?
No. Maybe if it was longer. I don't even think I had any chicken tenders.
What?
Are
I
you
just had-
kidding?
I had the pulled pork and then I had the cake.
You know how many chicken tenders Brooke had after talking so much mad smack to me about how many chicken tenders she was going to eat?
Probably about 6 of them bad boys.
One chicken tender.
She
I
had,
didn't even realize she only had one. I had 3 massive ones.
she had some pocket tenders.
No, she had one. I'm like, come on. Travis's wife gave me so much crap about out eating me in chicken tenders. Dude, I had a whole thing of them myself. I had 74 wings. And I had a chocolate peanut butter cake. I don't even feel bad about it.
And keto ice cream.
Keto ice cream. I did keto all the week before, and it was literally so I could mow down on all that chicken and not even feel bad about it.
I mean, if you guys wouldn't have dipped as soon as the game was over, you could have stuck around for 45 minutes and been
We
friendly with the rest of us.
We
We
stayed.
stayed until they kicked us out.
They were there.
We just
they were-
listened
they were
when they
hanging out with
said
us.
you can't stay here.
They were hanging out with us the whole time.
Guess I didn't know this.
I'm sitting here like, they asked us to leave.
Yeah, they were there when they kicked us out.
How many of those free beers did you have?
Yeah, no kidding.
I had 3 bottles of water.
3 bottles of water.
Yep.
How about a beer?
It's not really my thing.
Yeah. Well,
I even behaved myself.
that water must have been strong because you couldn't see the 2 guys in sales hanging out with you.
No, that's weird. I honestly thought you guys left.
Yeah, it was a pretty good time though. We all
was
had a
fun.
good time.
Yeah, it was really
Yeah.
fun.
Lots of people. I think when we have close to 100 people.
Yep.
Yep.
It was parking was a nightmare.
There's a lot going on down there.
Yeah, they
Especially if you follow Chad.
I found St. Paul's biggest pothole. 35 miles an hour.
Oh, man. Right under the tunnel. I heard it. I was right behind him and just wham, 2 tires. And I'm like, thank God, I'm missing that.
Gotta get a new rim.
Yeah. Hey, welcome to the appreciation event.
That was the worst part
I hope
about
you got
it.
AAA.
It was getting caught in the middle of Shepherd Road and then rocking that pothole.
Yeah, it was like I said, it was a 4:00 game, which is unusually early for him. And I think it was a bike and knife show or something was going on next door at the River Center. So they had a ton of people there. And then it was like a beautiful day. Probably the best day we've had yet this year on a Saturday. So people were down outside, going to restaurants, doing things. So it was just a zoo down there. And yeah, I felt bad. I pulled it because I got there like 2 hours early because I had to get things set up. And I saw how parking was for me 2 hours before the event. And I'm like, oh, everybody's screwed.
Oh, thanks for the heads up.
Yeah, no problem. It wasn't going to help you. I'm going to be honest. If I text you at that moment, it wasn't going to save you.
I don't think we were even that late. I mean,
No.
we were
No, we were there. At
You
like-
weren't.
comparably, we were real
yeah.
early.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that showed up a lot later than you. And it wasn't, I mean, again, not upset. I mean, Micah had to park like up by the Basilica. He was like 3 miles away from the event and had to walk.
I would have tried to pull into the stadium like the other day.
Yeah, just pull down, get the bomb.
Like I'm a
sniffing
player.
Dog. Yeah, I needed the bomb sniffing dog, and then just drive a little bit further, but don't go all the way down, and just park it and get out and walk.
And then here I'm following Chad, and the lady's like, hey, we got to cut off. You got to find another spot. I'm like, I'm with him. And the lady's like, I don't have any spots. I'm like, where am I supposed to go? I'm with him. She's like, okay, I can make room for one more. Then everybody behind us all had to go around.
I heard Travis was actually in line and then pulled out of line.
That was when I got caught in the middle of Shepherd. If he stayed where he was at, he would have got there on time. But he sees me go zip up, and assuming I'm from the cities, I know where I'm going. Instead, I just didn't want to get hit by traffic. And then hit the pothole, had to do a U-turn, come back, get him caught in the middle of the road, waiting for the light to turn green.
And then I call him. He's like, are you behind me? He's like, why the hell did you follow me? You were going where you needed to go. I was like, I thought I was lost.
That's funny. So that's how our weekends went. But it was a good time. Like I said, I think we all had a good time.
Absolutely.
The weather's starting to warm up a little bit outside, so that's nice.
That's what they say.
Snow's almost gone.
Almost gone.
I don't think it's almost gone.
I mean, I don't,
Guys, Travis told me we're getting a snowstorm on Friday night, 6 to 8 inches.
No,
thought it
they
was
said
supposed to
1
be
to 3
rain.
inches Friday night.
here we go.
Yeah, I figured you'd like that one, Belinda.
What do you think, weatherman? 1 to 3 inches, they're saying Friday night.
It's gonna be too warm.
That's what I
We
told him.
talking about the weather, or
Jesus. I can't even.
I mean, originally, but now that you bring it up.
It's,
Oh
it's
my
gonna
God.
be like every other time they talk about snow. It's gonna be warm. Nothing's gonna stick on the ground. It'll
Yeah,
be fine.
it's that time
You're
of year.
not gonna go out in your snowmobile.
Yeah,
That's-
They
your
already
snowmobile.
pulled all the stakes off the trails.
Put your snowmobile
I'm really
away.
disappointed.
Put it away.
It's still outside.
Yeah. Last week we talked about what? Common CNC mistakes, guys?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, you weren't here, Nick. You wouldn't know. Hopefully you listened.
I did listen to part of it.
Yeah, but this week I want to talk about episode number 99.
Uh-oh.
What's also 99?
Wayne Gretzky.
Wayne Gretzky. You know who Wayne Gretzky is, guys?
I know the name, but I couldn't tell you if it's
Do
like.
you know who Wayne Gretzky is?
I think he figure skates. Like a multi-gold medal winner.
Probably within a couple of years, he'll be the second leading scorer in NHL history.
Within a couple of years, probably, yeah. But currently, he is not.
Currently, he's not. But
Currently, he is the leading scorer.
Who's
But
going to
yeah,
take him over?
who's gonna take what over?
Who's going to beat Wayne Gretzky?
the great number 8, Alex Ovechkin.
Yeah,
I know who Wayne Gretzky is. I don't know who the second guy is.
Ovechkin he's ridiculous. He's
Yeah.
good. But
Oh,
yeah,
wait. He had...
Ovi.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you know who he is. But yeah, he's on pace. If he stays in the NHL, if he keeps playing, that he should. They said what, 2 years they expect it to be?
Yeah, was he like 71 behind or something?
Yeah, something like that. So who knows? But anyways, that's what number 99 is about, is be great. Expect greatness. That's what today's episode will be out, because I thought it's fitting because number 99. And 99 represents Wayne Gretzky. So, again, for anybody who doesn't know, he's one of the greatest hockey players of all time. And honestly, when I hear the number 99, I always think of him. Like that's what I think of. And I always, kind of have associated the number 99 with greatness, and just felt that today's episode could be about that topic, greatness and expecting it and kind of taking yourself to that next level. And I guess we're going to start there, guys. Do you guys believe that your attitude can control your outcome? And if so, why? Why do you think your attitude affects it?
I think it can, because if you think everything sucks, everything's going to suck. If you think
Yeah.
everything's great, more likely most things are going to be great.
Yeah.
It's all mindset.
I think that too. I think there's a lot of people out there that get in their own head, get in their own way, and they, again, greatness. Like, greatness comes from being great, right? From acting great. Even if you're not great, if you think you're great, like, some people call it lucky, right? Oh, he's so lucky. But a lot of times people who appear lucky, a lot of times are just expecting greatness,
And how many times does that lucky person fail maybe before? I think Wayne Gretzky said you miss 100% of, or man, I messed it up.
100% of the shots you don't take.
Yeah, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yeah, but that's the truth. Is everybody sees the glory, right? The glory is what everybody recognizes. I've always talked about the iceberg, right? And you see the tip of the iceberg, and everybody looks at the iceberg like, man, look how big that iceberg is. But you don't see what's below the surface and how much bigger it might be under there, or how much abuse it's taken there, or what it took to get to that point, And it's the same thing, I think, with anybody who's successful or great. It's so easy to see their greatness, but you don't see what their sacrifices were and what they gave up and what they did to get to that point, or their mindset. You don't understand that they've lost more than they've won. You just didn't see the losses. You're just seeing all the greatness because they've set records and they've done this or whatever it is. And that's kind of how I felt about it. I guess your guys' take, mindset, what and why.
I could talk personally. I mean, both of you guys have caught me in slumps sometimes and, say, hey, get the hell out of your rut. And my outcome always seems better. Like Chad said, if you're negative things are probably going to happen. You're never going to have the ambition to do something great.
I think naturally, when things negative happen, it causes us as humans to get focused on that, right? And then it just snowballs because then you're looking for the bad. You're not looking for the good anymore. Bad's happening all around you every day. The reality is, like, if I look at my day every day and look at what went wrong every day, I'm going to be a miserable person because there's lots of stuff that I have to go through and deal with, as a coach, as a dad, as a husband, as a boss, like there's a lot of stuff I could point out the flaws in, but it's so much better if we look at what's great and what we're doing and where we're going and our expectations. I feel like that's a much better way to go. But yeah, you're right, Travis. I think, you pointed out as something what I do is a lot of it is managing people and understanding that there is greatness within each person. That's why they work here. Right? That's why we hired them. We don't hire people that, hey, well, you look mediocre. Sounds like you got the job. Like, it's not who we are, Like, we hired people because they have some form of greatness in them. And when people get in their own way, they tend to lose sight of their own greatness, What about you, Nick? Anything?
Yeah, I think just like these guys said, is whatever you end up focusing on is kind of how things are going to go, right? So there's no point in focusing on the few bad things that you deal with during the day. You focus on all the negative and move forward with that and keep a positive flow going in your day.
Yeah. No, I think, for myself, I think about being great starts with expecting greatness. I've said it a few times already, but it's easy to write off the bad things and look over the failures. But I feel like greatness comes from those who focus on improving, not focus on, what they are or not winning in, Like, I think that's the biggest thing is it's always about improvement and expecting that greatness. Like, it's okay to be successful. But if you're just like, well, I'm successful, so I'm not going to worry about it, like, you're going to not be successful then. Like, you still have to focus on being successful, but greatness is a whole nother level. Like, you can be great in a lot of different things. So, let's talk about that because, nobody's ever perfect. I believe those who cannot accept criticism, right, are generally the last to succeed in a lot of things because I'm as good as there is and, well, you can't tell me anything. Yeah, well, nobody's going to want to talk to you and help you, right? Eventually, you're going to get consumed with yourself so much that other people are just going to want to watch you fail, which makes your job harder. And, if you're unwilling to accept that there are some things that can be improved on, you're probably going to be stuck in a rut at some point. And so, again, let's talk about the attitude. Let's talk about being great. And do you guys think what you do daily is great?
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Why?
I think for me, it's just we're on a daily basis, we're helping customers who are spending a lot of money on something that they may have never had before, and they have a lot of questions. They're kind of going into it with, a lot of maybe not concerns, but a lot of just questions that what's going to happen throughout the whole process. And I think it's great that we're able to help them and calm them with those questions, give them the right answers, and just kind of give them a peace of mind and put their mind at ease to not worry about the things that are really out of their control until they get their machine. So I think, yeah, what we do for our customers is great.
ShopSabre.com.
Is that what you were asking? Do we feel like we're doing great at work?
Yeah, I mean, I just think in general, like it doesn't have to be work, but I mean that's a great way to look at it. Like I like going that level. Obviously, is the greatness we do here, but honestly, like just in life, like
I like, helping people, like back at the car dealership days here.
Yep.
Whatever it is, just being there to listen to what people want or need, and then
Mm-hmm.
being able to get that for them is awesome. But my personal, maybe my greatness or what I think is great changes daily. I'm
Yeah.
only as good as I want to be that day.
hell, as good as I want to be.
Well, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
not every day you're going to be winning championships and making the game-winning shots. So the greatness is going to, change. Like, so if you just judge it off of, did I win a championship today? Well, then not every day is going to be great. So it's an ever-changing thing.
Well, I think that's a good point, Chad. Is that people who expect to win championships every day generally are going to fail, right? They're going to beat up themselves mentally to the point where they're just not going to be successful because they're expecting such a level of greatness every day that it's unobtainable. Like I'm going to be a millionaire every day, right? Like the reality is like you're going to have days that you break even. Like they're going to have days that you lose. But if you lose and you still figure something out or you learned something, did you really lose? Technically, no. Like you're going to gain something for future benefit, right? But exactly, Chad. Like sometimes it's just you're going to have a Tuesday. You're going to have a Tuesday where you just have to go and deal with the crap that you put off Monday. And I always call them a Tuesday because Monday is the day that everybody gets back in the grind a lot of times because a lot of people take Saturdays and Sundays off. I'm not necessarily one of those people. I tend to work my way through every weekend. Ask Nick and Kyle. They got messages from me on Sunday because I was working on marketing stuff. And sorry, guys, to blow up your phones. But that's kind of how I work. Like I think about it all the time. But Mondays tend to be people's diving back into a day. So what happens on Mondays naturally? Everybody associates Mondays with being hectic and crazy, right? Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So what doesn't get done on Mondays? All the little things that you want to accomplish, but you're too busy on Monday to get them done, right? So therefore, those are called a Tuesday. It's the little things that happen on Tuesday that make the rest of the week a lot of times, right? It's setting things up for success and getting through your paperwork and making some phone calls and doing things that you didn't have time to do on Monday, right? Or that things that you put off on Friday, essentially, because by the time you got to Monday, it's so crazy you didn't get through them. So, like you said, you're not going to win championships 24/7. Mm-hmm. Some days you just have to win a football game. Some days you just have to win a sale. Some days you just have to break. If I can get my kids to put the same color socks on some days, that's a win, right? Like some days it's just that stuff. And I think that's what you have to think about. And I guess, what about what you do every day makes you great, guys? Like in your day, like doesn't have to be ShopSabre related necessarily, but what's habits or what's things that you do in your daily life that you think makes you great?
I like routines.
Routines?
I always point out I care for others. Chad doesn't like it when I always talk about pulling people out of the ditch and people that are broke down. Or if somebody just looks confused, I just feel like I have to stop and ask them if they need help.
So you're a helper. Yeah.
A lot of times I have the knowledge they need. I don't know.
What about you, Nick?
Not always.
I mean, for me, I think it's just going home and cooking dinner for my family every night.
Yeah.
No, I mean, in all seriousness, kind of like you guys said, I mean, doing what you can to help other people. And
I was excited about dinner, to be honest with you now.
I was too, especially after the first dinner you made us.
well, I mean, maybe you'll get another one if you're nice. You gotta
Well, we're not getting another one.
You got to earn that, though. I mean, Chad and Brandon are pretty good about that, but Travis needs a little bit of help on that area.
Got him. Got him.
But no, I mean, I think like you guys said, just doing what you can to make others around you happy and make them feel like they're having a good day as well. I think the little things that we do in life every day are the things that make us great.
Do you guys ever hear other people talk and sit back and think man, this person is just not set up for greatness? Like just the way they talk, when a person says things to you, do you ever see how many people, act towards a situation and think or how certain people act towards certain situations, and then you think it took You only take them halfway serious, or like they're only taking the situation halfway serious, or you know, you're sitting there like you have a real opportunity in front of you, and you're really just screwing it up. Like,
Yep.
do you ever see that? Like, and it just blows you away.
I see it.
Yeah, especially the people that do it on like an everyday basis.
Yeah.
Like if it's once in a while, fine. You want to try to like, you know, maybe talk them off that ledge. But when you know it's the same person doing the same thing over
Correct.
and over and over, and not trying to find the good in everything, then
Yeah.
you just kind of have to separate yourself from that so you don't get sucked into it.
I've got
Avoid them.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly
Yeah.
it. I say I try to avoid those people, and it's funny because I get approached at the racetrack a lot by other racers because obviously we have a business here, and of course racers think that you're just going to sponsor them because you have a business and you race. But it's funny because like so many people come up to me, and the ones that usually come up to me are the ones that are always negative. The guys who like everything's terrible and they complain openly about everything. And it's like, you really think I want to put our logo on the side of your car? Like, I don't want to help you. I don't want my brand associated with that negativity. Like, I don't need that. And, you know, you see them online, oh, lost a sponsor today, blah, blah, blah. And they complain about it. And you're like, maybe change your attitude and you wouldn't lose sponsors.
Yeah,
Like,
you're not going to find one to replace the talking and acting like that.
correct,
Yeah.
exactly. Like, you're acting like a child on there. And now, yeah, of course, I'm not going to put my money there. And it's, you know, I think that's where a lot of people like in business think about that. Like, you know, they have an employee that maybe isn't performing to the level they should be, and they let that employee kind of take down the whole place, right? And it's they're not setting themselves up for greatness. They're letting one bad apple wreck a bunch of good ones, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like you have to talk about like in gardening, right? I don't know how much you guys do any gardening, but you know, you take off the dead leaves, right? You take off the parts of the plant or the tree or the whatever that's holding it down, right? Because you have to let it nourish and grow. Well, the same goes for your business. Like, you have to take out the negative stuff, take out the negative vibes. And sometimes that is just like the processes that you're doing are negative, you know? And let's talk about that. You know, how does this relate towards employees, processes, and companies? You know, do you ever look at a product and think like, man, it could be so much better if they just cared a little bit about it? Like, I know software companies that we've worked with in the past that could be extremely good if they just cared a little bit.
Yep, for sure.
Absolutely.
You know, and I think there's a lot of businesses that you think about too. And, you know, what about employees? Who you have, you know, it can make a difference, right? You have some incredible, talented people, right? We've seen businesses that have some really talented people, but just pick and choose when to apply themselves. And it's like, well, if that person would just like try just 40 hours a week, like just try, like how much better would that place be? And a lot of times that's what people get hung up on, is that they have a good employee who, when they see them try, they have incredible potential. And so they're almost afraid to walk away from it because the potential's so good when they're working. But the problem is it's 10% of the time. So they deal with 90% bad for a 10% good return. That's not exactly a good investment of your time and money, right?
No, not at all.
And like you think about that with CNC machines and other equipment out there. How many people buy cheap Chinese garbage, right? Because 10% of the time it worked for them, right?
And it was, what, 20% of the cost?
Yeah, well, that's exactly it. They saved 20%, but man, I saved 20%, so I'm going to hang on to it for that reason. Like, at some point, you just got to cut your losses. Like, just because it's cheaper doesn't, I mean, it's cheaper for a reason.
Yep.
We have a guy that's been beating me up, and I'm going to be honest. Like, I got a guy that's been beating me up for a discount for 2 weeks now. And we gave him a discount already. It's like, I'm not going to give you more. Like, this is where we're at. But he spent 2 weeks of his life trying to argue about another discount. I'm like, if you had just spent the money 2 weeks ago, you would have saved 2 weeks of your time, which is worth money, which eventually was basically like a discount.
He could have got the machine 2 weeks sooner.
Right. Well, that's what's going to happen. You know, is either he's not going to end up with a machine at all over such a minimal conversation, or he's going to end up with a machine that took him a month longer to get, and he lost a month's worth of business. Mm-hmm. Was that worth the little discount you're going after?
No, that's why you should have bought a second machine the first time.
Buy your second machine the first time. ShopSabre. I was going to hit the button, but I couldn't find it. There it is.
ShopSabre.com.
Got it, guys. Don't worry. This thing is very confusing. I wish it had a button on it that said, another one.
We're going to make that happen.
We're going to make that happen.
That could be programmed.
Nick, can you make that happen? Kyle?
Nick.
I'll do my best.
Somebody smarter?
Can somebody smarter than us make it go? Another one. But yeah, in all seriousness, like I said, you got to think about that. And when I look at, I have companies who employ some extremely talented people, like I said, and they just don't use the potential of those people either. Not that the people don't want to use it. It's like they don't give them the tools to do it. How many cabinet companies have their super talented people wasting their time doing things a machine could do?
Right.
Right? Like building a box maybe isn't the best use of your $40 an hour employee. Buy a ShopSabre, and it's like $8 an hour. Let
Is
it
that
do
what
it.
it is?
Yeah, it's like $8.
That's less than minimum wage.
It is. That's my point. Buy a ShopSabre. It will cut everything at minimum wage, below minimum wage. You won't go to jail. and your best employee can actually do something worth their skills.
Or something they want to do.
Yeah, right. I've seen it. And excuses are one of those number one killers in greatness, in my opinion. If you're willing to validate why you don't do something rather than understand what could be done better or differently, I think you're sabotaging your own success in your business. In your guys' opinion, what is the number one thing that kills people's motivation to be great?
Processes.
You think processes?
Well, no. I think that
I love how you just looked at the notes on there and you looked at the subject title and said processes.
new processes. That's kind of one thing, though. I mean, if you have
It's
a
not
bunch
wrong.
of
Yeah.
if you have a bunch of like ways to do things that don't make sense, and you're not listening to people that work for you to tell you this could be better.
Or what if you just don't have the processes?
Yeah.
Like sometimes you just need a process, and the fact that you don't have one is what frustrates people, so they just don't try anymore. They don't care because no matter how I do this, there's no way to track it. There's no way to do it. I'm just wasting my time. And
that would kill my motivations if you wasted a bunch of my time.
yeah, and I was going to say, that's what I expected from you, Chad, to be completely honest with you, because I know that about you. Like, I know the number one thing that you hate is wasting time.
Absolutely.
Like, I know it frustrates you more than anything. And so you'll do anything all the way through the end of it as long as you're not wasting your time. But as soon as, like, if I had you do a bunch of quotes to find out that those quotes are not going to be used, you're going to be mad because it's wasted your time, And I think that's the big thing is that when you look at your processes and, as your motivational, thoughts go through, what motivates your employees? Well, processes, good or bad, right? So bad processes being fixed are going to motivate them, or developing a process that didn't exist will motivate them. And one of those things could be automation, right?
Yep. Absolutely.
We just got a super cool robot back there, guys. Did you guys see that robot?
The welder.
I
Yeah.
need to go see it in
That's
person.
sweet.
I saw your video, but that's it.
Yeah, we got a robotic welder now. And I'll tell you what, it's cool to see that thing moving and doing its thing, and it actually motivates everybody around it. Like the other welders love it because they don't have to do the stuff they didn't want to. Welding the same bracket 20 times in a row is annoying for them.
Especially because it looked like on what at least I saw, the area that they had to do those welds in are small,
Yeah.
tiny areas, and
Yep.
to work in little small areas consistently over and over again.
And they're big guys.
It's gonna demotivate them.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I'm going to tell you, if you have to do that all day, every day, like it's going to unmotivate you, And so having something else produce those parts for them, they just got to load that fixture. It's so much better use of their time too.
And now they're happier every day. They know I'm not gonna have to put these
Correct.
these little 2-inch welds all day today.
And it's funny because like people who want greatness, as soon as they see that robot, they're super excited about it, right? They are, oh, this is gonna help us so much. This is gonna be so great, blah, blah, blah. The people who think on the opposite side, oh, robot's gonna replace your welders, huh? Like I've had friends of mine. It's funny, not one employee said it to me. All the employees like love it. They're learning it. They think it's the greatest thing ever. But friends of mine that I've actually showed the video to, they go, oh, getting rid of people. Like,
I would just have one, not 20.
yeah, I'm like, well, somebody still has to run. Like the robot doesn't run itself. Like you still have to program it. You still have to have it do stuff, And it's like, but it's funny because like people who are successful don't think about like that negative side of things. They look at like, what can I do with this? How great can we be because of this? And that's what's awesome about our welders is they thought about like, how many more parts can I build in a day? Like that's their thing. Like now it's kind of fun to actually watch because they're like trying to see, can they improve efficiency now? Like how fast can we get this machine loaded and unloaded so it can produce more parts, which only helps ShopSabre, right? Because we're producing more parts. It also helps them because their backlog is coming down, and everybody feels better.
Helps us.
Yeah, which again comes back around, helps everybody. But like again, you have people who don't do this, and they look at it as like, oh, replacing people. Like what?
I think they're probably
Replacing that mindset, maybe.
They probably look at it like when you go to Walmart and you can't find anybody to cash you out anymore. Not that I go to Walmart, but I hear they don't have cashiers anymore. But Cub Foods tries
That's
to do
right,
it
though,
too.
yeah.
Like you'll go to Cub at night. There's not at night, 8 o'clock. There's a good amount of people there, and they have self checkout and one person. Actually, so to me, when I look at that type of deal, it's like that's eliminating people.
Yep.
And then,
But are they
putting
though? Let me ask you
burden
that.
on me.
Are they really eliminating people, or are they just filling a void that they had because they couldn't find anybody? Let me ask you that, because I went to Chili's last week with my wife, and we went into Chili's, and we walked in. I mean, it looks fairly empty, right? We walk in, and I asked the lady, how long is the wait? Expecting 5-10 minutes. It was an hour. And I'm like, why? Like I didn't say that, but I'm like, why? So we put our name down. We drove there, so we were going to wait. So we hung out. It ended up being like 45 minutes, but we hung out. But then, obviously, I have 2 little boys, so they both had to go to the bathroom 37 times. And I brought them to the bathroom time 1 and walked through the restaurant, and like half the restaurant's empty. And so it hit me that they literally have the business. The people want to eat here. They don't have the people to take care of them. That's the problem. And so it's like, if we don't need the people here, then I started to think about, what if you could self-checkout at the table? What if you could just go into Chili's, sit down, and have one of those digital things, order the food you want, and when you hit submit, it goes to the kitchen. The person brings it out, right? That's what they're out there for. Okay, do you need anything else? But you need a refill, you hit the button. And now you don't have to have the people to staff that restaurant anymore. And the ones that are there can actually serve more people, because now they're going to have more tips, would they not? Because more tables.
Right.
And your wait time isn't an hour anymore. It's now 15 minutes. Like, I think about it that way. So, like, I get what you're saying. Like, you walk into Walmart and you don't see it. Like, there is some degree of, obviously, I'm sure there's cutbacks. Like, I'm sure it exists. But I also wonder, like, can they find people that want to run the checkout anymore? After COVID, like, finding labor is hard. Is that part of the reason that there's, fine. If we can't find the people, or training the right people is a pain in the butt, so we're going to get self-checkout.
Yeah, I mean, when I worked for Hy-Vee,
I'll take my employee discount.
It was more the latter, that there just wasn't enough people to do the job, so they started adding more self-checkouts. But they still had people running the checkouts in hopes that the people that had, like full carts of stuff would come to those lines, and have a few items go to the self-checkout, and it didn't always work that way, because there were people that were like, hey, I don't want to use the self-checkout. I want to actually keep this person working and keep them busy, so they'd always make it a point to go through the checkout line and not use self-checkout. So there still is that mindset that people think that a self-checkout is replacing a person, so they want to keep using the person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
No, I get it. But I think some of it's comfort, too. I mean, some people are just more comfortable with a person. Like, I don't want to do self-checkout if I don't have to, right? But
They don't
Personally,
wanna
hate
be-
self-checkout.
see, I love it. I don't have to-
I do too.
I never do it unless I have like 2 things and nobody's there.
See,
but-
that's it. But like, if you come up and you've got groceries,
I do it all myself.
so you have 2 carts, then you just have to take it from one cart to another cart.
Oh, you scan it and bag it while you're scanning.
Is this real life right
This
now?
is like
guess-
Travis doing his
I guess when
follow-ups.
I'm grocery
My way's the
shopping,
fastest.
when I'm grocery shopping, I have a cart full, like already with a
so
person
do
doing
I.
it. I don't know. I hate it.
You still take it out and you put it in the bag, and by the time you filled the bag, there's room in the cart to put that bag back in.
Yeah.
But if you have a lot of stuff and there's just like the paper bags, there's a weight sensor. So you take stuff off of it, it says
Yeah,
I don't take it
Are
off,
you
though.
bagging this or not? I don't. I
it all
hate it.
depends on how much stuff you have.
I have a cart full.
And then somebody's got to come over and help you because it gets all screwed up.
I get it.
I see
I
both
mean,
sides of it.
I
But
do.
At the same time, like,
I would rather not deal with
What
it.
happens if you forget to ring 3 things up and then the cops come to your house later to arrest you for shoplifting?
pro tip,
'Cause
they
that's
won't,
happening.
nobody knows.
That's going to happen.
Just saying.
You don't think they have cameras that watch that?
I mean,
They have cameras at the
They
kiosk.
do,
I
but
mean,
nobody's
you can see
sitting
your
there
face
watching it
while
and
you're
going-
scanning your stuff.
just saying they record everything, but nobody's going to watch it. So
I'll show you some articles.
I don't think that's something I'm overly concerned about. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm really not. I've gone through many self-checkouts since they came around in, 15 years ago, and I've never had the cops show up at my house. So
How
I
many
think I
things
just,
have you stole?
I don't think any. I'm
not,
just.
not intentionally, but I'm sure you run something across the scanner.
But that's my
and it
thing is
doesn't
like I don't
scan,
think
you
I've
pay
ever like
attention to it. No.
I intentionally scan everything because again we have a business, so I try to think about the other businesses that are there as well, and I guess it's not a concern of mine. Like my thing is like I'd rather not have to wait in line. I hate that. I hate waiting in line. So to me, if I can go deal with it myself and just get in and out, like it's that much easier for me.
Yeah, I'm with Brandon on that one for sure.
I guess I don't go shopping in your little small town, but come up where I live and come into Cub.
I mean, we're still
The
busy here.
self checkout is busier than
Yeah.
the regular lines most of the time.
Well, I'm not saying they're not, but I also don't shop during like prime time hours either. Like I purposely go to my way. I grocery shop at night.
Yeah,
like,
I
on
go
purpose.
like 7 a.m. or 9 p.m.
Yeah, I'm the
That's-
same
I
way.
do the
I'm
same
super
thing.
early or super late. Like I don't like going. I will not go on the weekends at all. Like I never go shopping on the weekend at all. Like I will go. I've gone before work. I'll stop at this Walmart down the road here before work. There's nobody in there. It's awesome.
I did that today to fill the candy dish.
Did you?
Yeah.
No,
Chad, wasn't that
you're
Cub that I went to that one
stupid
night?
Candy.
So I was in your hood at about 8
Hood.
p.m.
Hood.
7 p.m.
Neighborhood.
And he is exactly correct. It was the middle of the evening, and the self-checkout was lines, and there was only one person doing an actual. It took forever.
Really?
It was crazy.
Yeah, I don't know.
I told Chad I'm never
Different
going.
lives.
Never going up there again.
I prefer self checkout just because of that. And I'm not saying it's the solve all, but my point is automation's used when you can't find people. And that was the principle of this conversation was that if you have a need in your business and you're backed up and you're trying to get work done, you can't always find another Chad, right? You can't go out and find another guy who's going to do the work and do it right.
There's a lot of people out there like Chad that can do work the way he does.
Oh, but in all seriousness, like that's my
You
point.
gonna stand up for me?
You can stand up for yourself. You're a big guy.
Okay.
Flip the table over on him.
Oh, it's okay.
I want to see the table flip over. Feeling sick tomorrow, Chad?
I think I'll probably be sick till Monday.
Oh, ridiculous. My point being is there's not a lot of Chads out there who are going to call in sick the minute after somebody has insulted him.
Automation, brother.
But the point is though, like adding a CNC machine to your business. Like you think about that is how many guys can cut cabinets the way that your best guy can?
One more time.
How many guys can actually cut cabinets the way that maybe your best guy can?
None.
And
Yeah, your best guy's your best guy for a reason, right?
yes.
And then the rest of you are fillers, right? I mean, let's be honest. You fill people in your shop to do other things in your cabinet shop. You probably have one person who is your lead or who is your go-to. Well, if you can't build a business around that guy, right? I mean, if he's sick, if he has a Chad moment here for a second, right? Gets mad because Nick insulted him and then calls in the next week. What do you do? In all seriousness, like you need a machine that you can like. Chad, I've heard you say it on the phone to people. Like, I think you've told people like he's not gonna like the machine's not gonna call in sick on Monday.
it's not gonna be hung over.
That's what you say. Yeah, it's not gonna be hungover. It's not gonna be calling in sick. Like, but it's true. The machine, and we've seen it. We have a customer of ours here in Minnesota. He posts it all the time when we have snowstorms. Machine made it to work today. Like he always posts that video, and I love it because it's the truth. Like we're getting these massive snowstorms, and his shop is at his house, and he just walks out to his shop, fires his machine up, and goes to work. Misses 0 time because of labor. But how many people have missed work because of a snowstorm?
Not me.
But my point is, how many have?
Many.
A lot.
A lot.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it here. People can't make it, and they're probably not lying. There's cases where people get stuck in their driveway. I mean, I've seen it. They send me those text messages at 4:30 in the morning.
We got Kyle trying to dig himself out with a snowboard.
Yeah, I've seen Kyle try to dig himself up. Was it literally a snowboard, Kyle?
I'm pretty sure it wasn't. Yeah,
I thought it was a skateboard. No. Anyways,
This
but yeah.
car's 2-wheel drive.
But that's my point. Like, Kyle has a 2-wheel drive car, gets stuck in a massive snowstorm. Fortunately, Kyle, you can do your job remotely 90% of the time. 60% of the time, it works every time. And Kyle just like, what? But no, like my point is that Kyle doesn't miss a day because he can keep working. But a guy building cabinets can't get to work because that same reason Kyle has. Can he build the cabinet at home now? No.
Nope.
He doesn't have the job there, right? But having the CNC machine allows you to keep working at efficiency rates, right? So I think that's kind of what I'm talking about here is, improving those processes and those things to set yourself up for greatness. If you build your business around one person being there or not being there, you're probably going to be in a bad situation someday. Might not be today, might not be tomorrow, but someday when something happens, sick, family issue, whatever, now your whole business is on hold because that person couldn't show up.
One thing that just came to my mind is why can't all of the employees feel that greatness of their best guy? A CNC machine is going to do the same thing, throughput every day, all day.
Yep.
Every one of them people can easily load and unload a machine, possibly even load the file into it so they can all feel as great as that guy that they consider their top guy.
Yeah, and well, being successful doesn't necessarily make you great, right? Just because you're successful. Greatness is when you reach back and help others become great too. And equipment does that. It helps other people be successful. I mean, I'll be honest. I can't cut cabinets to save my butt. Like if I tried to cut a cabinet out, it's going to look terrible. I'm not good with a saw. That's not who I am. I mean, honest to God, that's why my dad built his first CNC machine. Like we are not people that are going to cut a straight line in a piece of wood. Like it's just not what we're going to do. So the machine can make me feel like a craftsman, right? Because I load the file and it cuts it out. And I'm like, look what I have built. It is fire. No, just kidding. It's not fire. But in all seriousness, like you build something and you think about it makes you feel better because you've been able to accomplish it. And you have almost anything in your life, you can have it as long as you're willing to help other people achieve what they want.
Yep.
And the attitude of propelling the team forward will get you much more success than propelling just yourself forward. So developing these processes and these things that help each other drives the whole team forward.
That's why I help Travis so much.
I was waiting for it. I knew that you were going to run with it. As soon as I saw what we were talking about, I'm like, oh, he's going to rip Travis. But it actually is true. It's actually true, though. I mean, it's why you said it earlier, Travis. I'm going to use you as an example because you said it. You said it. You get in these funks, right?
Yep.
And Chad or myself.
Have to come over and slap him.
For the record, I don't hit anybody.
Chad does threaten it.
I can't speak that Chad doesn't, but he might.
I just got a video before we came in here talking about how he's going to slap me. So
That's to all the coworkers.
But that's the point is like, it does take people to motivate other people. And obviously Chad being that, like, does he care if Travis is successful or not?
I do.
Exactly. Like you do because it affects the team.
Yep.
But does it really affect you personally?
No, not at all.
And that's the thing. It's so easy for a guy to be like, not my problem. Like, then fire him. Right? Like, how many times have you heard people say that? Like, oh, they just need to get rid of that guy. But the reality is, like, if you would be more willing to just help that person figure out what they're doing, would that not help the whole team?
Absolutely.
And I think that's what makes the camaraderie at ShopSabre so much better is that we don't have that attitude of, well, forget him, he's failing. Like, no, we go over and try to help each other because it does mean something to us. And there's cases where, I mean, there's days, Chad, where you're slammed and you got a million things going on and people come over and help you. Like, hey, what do you need help with? And sometimes you're like, hey, do this for me, or hey, stay away from me. That's what I need you to do.
The seller's permit ID number.
A seller, hey, I forgot about that. That was today.
Oh, God.
That was fun. But it's those little things though. Like I said, you're bogged down, got 20 things going on. Like the last thing you need to do is find a seller's permit ID number. Don't worry, I got you. But that's the difference in like teams that work together will ask for that help and help each other be successful versus teams who are so used to just getting shit on, for lack of a better explanation, that they're not going to ask for help because it just gives somebody ammunition against them. Mm-hmm. So buy a CNC machine, buy a piece of equipment, upgrade your technology, and now guys are willing to work with each other because they want to be successful together. The machine's not going to go, well, watch me make Chad look bad today. Like the machine doesn't know. Like, yes, Chad, please load that file.
It's going to say, let's cut this kitchen out in 4 hours so we can get it together and have Thursday and Friday off this week.
Agreed. Wait, what? You cut the kitchen out before Friday, and you can have Friday off, Chad. But
I'm not going to be here.
Let's talk about products. What about a product makes it great? We sell CNC machines. So, in your opinion, what makes a product great to you guys?
Quality.
Functionality.
Functionality, quality,
support,
design, value, right? Are these not all things that work? So let's talk about that. Quality is obviously number one, I think, because everybody looks at a product that has poor quality and kind of that's the first thing you point out, right? So a product's usually not going to be too great if the product has poor quality. So you got to build a good quality product. But the functionality of it, if you can't use the thing because it doesn't, function, that's probably, again, not going to really take you real far, right?
You're not going to want to use it.
That kind of goes back to the process then, right? If you buy, we've talked about it in the past, people who go out and buy machines, they buy these cheap machines for their employees. He wanted a CNC, I got him one. And then the employee calls us pissed.
Has a 1980s controller on it.
Yeah, the guy can't get tech
I
support.
don't know how to turn this dial. Got to get this dialed in, literally.
Yeah, but that's the truth. Like, oh, we're waiting on the tech to come out because they got to calibrate it. What?
Calibrate what?
Why are you waiting on a guy? Like, you can't just log in? Oh, no. It's got the old green screen. Cool. Can't wait to work on that thing. That sounds fun. But, with our systems, like, we try to make things exciting, easy. They're sleek. Like, when you log into our systems, they don't look like they don't work. There's things that you look at some of these controllers on some of these machines, and you're like, I thought you bought a new machine. Oh, I did. This is new. Oh.
I think ShopSabre's taken a lot of time to develop that user screen
Yeah.
for people.
Well, it's a big part of it because it's what you have to work with every day. So I don't want it to be annoying to work with. I don't want it to be hard to work with, and I definitely don't want it to be like so outdated looking that you don't want to deal with it. Even if it works, it's just so old looking that it just makes you not want to work with it.
But the easy way would have been just to leave it standard.
Correct. Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think a lot of companies do that. They just buy a product off the shelf and they leave it, and that's the way it is. Like, we've always developed and engineered and tried to work on things.
For functionality.
Yeah, and it's that functionality aspect of it. Like you said, it's being able to make it user-friendly. And I think overall that gives it a greater value. Does it
Correct,
not?
yep.
I mean,
Absolutely.
to you, like, it's not value in like cost value, but it gives it a value in this terms of like what it can do for you. Like, I would say that most ShopSabre customers spend less money on operator costs than if you have to go out and buy some of these big giant mills, because you don't have to send one of your people to go be certified and learn how to run this. And then you have one guy who suddenly is in charge of everything because he's the only guy who knows how to run it, and we can't afford him to not be here. Like, he becomes expensive. Where with these machines, like, in all fairness,
We have middle schoolers
I was just
cutting
gonna
out
say.
signs and
Right.
coasters and all sorts of
we have elementary school people doing it.
Yep.
Like, I know of a few elementary school kids who run ShopSabre machines in their parents' shops and are more than capable of doing it.
That's
Like,
crazy.
isn't that crazy? Mm-hmm. So it kind of makes it so you can, as a business, afford to do this. Because you're not hiring people who are going to cost you $50 an hour to run the machine.
Right.
I mean, what do you have to pay a elementary school kid that works for you?
I don't think you're supposed to hire
Oh,
them.
is that too young? Too young. Got it. Too young. What if they're your kid?
Unless they're yours, yeah.
Yeah, what if they're your kid?
Then I don't know.
What do you have to pay them?
Nothing, because couldn't you just pay him and then take it away for taxes?
It's called dad tax.
Like, you got $100, but 70 of it's mine.
Yeah, no, you just do this. I'll give you $100 to run the machine, but you have to pay me rent tonight, which is $100. So we'll just call it even.
This is life.
This is life lesson number 1. You're welcome.
Things they'll never learn in school.
Things you won't learn in school for $500.
All the more reason to pull them out and start them working early.
No, don't pull them out of school. That is not what we're saying. That's definitely not what we're saying.
Once they can read, get them out.
That's not what I was saying. Do not pull your kid out of school. Have them finish. And then have them work for your business.
That's right.
Seems more logical.
Sure.
Sure. But yeah, I mean, we've kind of talked about this for a while now, but, again, bring your business to greatness. You have to work on greatness, be great, develop a new outlook and attitude. I mean, that's really what you have to do. You have to find a way to get yourself to that next level and elevate yourself and, challenge the status quo, if you will, right? The way you do it because it's convenient, right?
ShopSabre.com.
But Chad, you and I have said it before. People who say, my grandpa's done it this way for 30 years, right? What do we say to those people?
You're going to be miserable for the next 30 years?
Your grandpa would have bought this 30 years ago if he could have, right?
Yeah.
Like, he would have. So you don't have to do it the way they did it just because they did it that way. They didn't have the technology.
If Grandpa could have got it, he would have gotten it.
Yeah, he. This is what you guys would have been doing for 30 years if he had the technology, And so you don't want to be so blind to greatness out there that you handcuff yourself. You got to find ways to be great, Now, quick little sidebar. Next week we don't have an episode. Spring break.
So we have next week off too.
You don't have next week off.
I have 9 days off in a row.
Yeah,
Let's write our own episode and do our own episode.
you can. You guys are welcome to do your own episode.
All right, Nick.
Okay, this just in.
You're up.
Nick's taking point.
Nick's
Yeah,
taking
you're-
over next week. Sounds like I'm out of town next week is the reason I'm saying it. So I normally don't do an episode when I'm not here. But I promise to take my kid. My kids don't know, but they're off for spring break next week. So I'm taking them to a water park.
I didn't see your time off on the calendar. When did I approve this?
It's definitely there. Want me to show you real quick?
I don't remember signing off on this.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll make sure I get your approval next time.
So we'll talk to Jim right after this.
It's the gym,
No, JB.
the JV.
We got a couple things to talk about, I guess.
Oh my god.
Does he ever listen to this?
I doubt it.
I hope not. Because if he did, I'm just kidding, Jim. Mr. Bombardo, I'm sorry. I will not be down in your office today.
Well, hopefully.
I might tell my dad to listen to episode number 99 about greatness.
Skip right to the end.
No, that's funny. No, I don't know if he actually listens to some of this or not, to be honest with you. But it's fun because I always say, like, I don't say anything on this that I wouldn't say to his face. So we've all seen me give my dad some crap. So, but no, I mean, in all fairness, like I said, I don't know. Next week there may not be an episode. I don't know what these clowns are gonna do, but I'm not in town, so
Are you gone all week?
Yeah, yes. Woo! Well,
It was a Ric Flair thing. Just kidding.
got you. Oh, that's funny. No, I'm definitely gone for 3 days. Traveling for 1. Friday's optional for me.
Us do.
No, not for you.
That's what Chad does.
You going to Disney?
No. No, God, no.
Oh.
God, no. I'm just going to a water park, indoor water park with the boys. We're going.
The
Amy's.
one by the mall?
Yeah, Amy's
You're
friends.
taking a vacation by my house?
Yeah, you told me to go to
That
your.
sucks.
You told me to go to your neighborhood, so I'm doing it.
Stay inside.
No, so Amy's friend moved to Indiana, like one of her best friends from high school, and her kids, their spring break fell on the same week as our kids' spring break for like once. Like it never happens. It's usually like 1 week before the other or something. So since it did, they're gonna come visit and spend some time together. So we all are gonna go to the water park for a few days and hang out, and their kids are gonna have play with our kids, and Amy's gonna probably go shopping, and I'm probably gonna cry.
So at 8 o'clock every night, you're going to drive home and then just meet up with
I
them in
should.
the morning.
I should do that. That's a good idea. It's a good idea. Oh man, no, I'm gonna try to have some fun with my kids and take a little time to be a dad, and yeah, like I said, enjoy ourselves a little bit before the summer gets. We just got done with hockey season, so I don't think we've had a real dinner together in I don't know how many months, and like I said, then summer's coming and hockey season number 2 is starting. So
And then race season,
and race season and
golf season,
golf season,
all
and,
the great seasons.
and the seasons on the seasons. You know what season's coming up though?
Hopefully we get an over 50
Winter
degrees.
number 4.
Grill season. No, not winter number 4, Belinda.
Yes.
I've already been grilling.
Dude, I know, but like grill season doesn't actually start till you can be outside grilling.
Grill season doesn't stop though.
It doesn't, but it's not the same when you're grilling.
do you not have a garage?
And you're shivering as you're trying to.
I put it at the end of my garage and
That's what
I
I
open
do
up
too.
the door
Yeah,
and turn on the lights and
Yeah.
I'm good to go.
that's what I do as well. But it's just not the same.
It's not the same.
It's a lot nicer when you can be out there in all your glory, out in the driveway, and you like look at the greatness that is happening in front of you.
Just throwing hot dogs at the neighborhood kids.
It's been the most random 45 minutes of my life.
Throwing hot dogs at the neighbor.
Why would
He would
you
never.
waste hot dogs?
He would never waste his lunch like that, Chad.
Yeah. I take those hot dogs to lunch, bro. I'm not
yeah.
throwing them on the ground. It's my lunch every day. Oh,
Wow.
that's all I got, guys. It's the end of the month.
2 days left.
2 days.
Well, this airs tomorrow. Come on, guys, get together.
2 days left. That's it. Better get those sales in.
The month is over.
Already
The quarter
did.
is over.
Yeah, what do we got? We got 2 days left, and then some of our specials are donezo.
Yep. Let's start in the second quarter and hopefully get to the fourth here soon enough.
That's a big jump, Chad.
We're gonna ship a record number of machines this month. By the
That's
way.
what I heard. Yeah, record
awesome.
numbers coming this month.
You guys are welcome.
Thanks,
There's
Chad.
a lot of little ones.
Thanks, Chad. No, there's a lot of big machines we've shipped. It's been a pretty good month, actually. We've been selling a lot of machines. So, like I said, I know that everybody's worried about the economy out there. I know there's people, oh, what's going on? I'm going to tell you right now, people are buying. People are buying equipment, and your competitors are buying machines. So if you're not buying them right now and you're waiting, you're going to be left in the dust because we are selling, like you said, record numbers right now. I know we got some good social media stuff going on, right, Kyle? Kyle's finished up a new video that we're pretty excited about. We got TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter,
LinkedIn.
YouTube, LinkedIn, MySpace.
MySpace.
Let's make a comeback.
It's not making a comeback. I was
Soon
thinking about
enough.
MySpace the other day, because of you, of course. Thank you. I think of MySpace now. I don't think kids could handle MySpace nowadays,
With the top friends.
dude. I was thinking about that. I'm like, we openly judged our friends for all to see. Like, my top friend are here. Oh, you're not in it? Try harder. It's like the Hunger Games.
I would have nobody in mind so that my best friends were hurt the worst. You're just down there with everybody else.
Yeah. But it's like, yeah, you're going to fight with somebody, and then it's suddenly, boom, you're out of their top 10. Oh, man, it's so public. Everybody knows that we're having a fight. I don't think kids can handle it today.
The good old days.
The good old
I
days.
forgot you could do that.
Remember that?
Yeah, that's awesome.
And it's awesome. You used to be able to tell the whole world you hated your brother because he was no longer in your top friends. Like, suck it, Chris. Yeah, no, it needs to make a comeback, I think.
Oh, it's coming back.
It's coming back. You're going to make it happen.
Thanks for all the help making that social media plug great, by the way.
Hey, I got you.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I'm trying. Doing my best.
Travis had no idea what to say, but three of us.
I said
pulled us
MySpace.
He did?
I think we
I didn't
kind
have
of said it all at the same time. but-
MySpace. We're all just jacked up on Mountain Dew. Yeah. So, like I said, that's my. What are you guys gonna do this week? Anything fun? Any plans during the week this week before the next episode?
I mean, maybe I can get Chad to go to Iowa to play some golf.
I'd do that.
Iowa?
Yeah, Des Moines, it's only like 4 hours.
What?
We could stop at Diamond Joe on the way and do some gambling.
When are you
Just
going?
walk around and not spend any money.
Trust me, I spent enough money. I spent a lot of money there.
So you guys are going to Diamond Joe and golfing?
Diamond Joe's a casino.
Yeah, I
I
know
just
where
want
Diamond
everyone
Joe is.
listening to know that.
Oh, got it. It's like I know where that is. It's on the way to the racetrack. It's on the way to Boone.
Oh, nice.
That's where we stop on the way to Boone.
Yeah, because there used to be a restaurant there that's not
There used to
there
be a
anymore.
Burger King.
Yeah, Burger King. It's not
They
there
took it
anymore.
out. Real letdown.
Cannot have it your way at BK.
Not anymore. No BK there to be had.
They probably put in a deli sandwich place that they're charging like
No, there's a gas station across the street.
$15 for a ham and cheese sandwich.
Yeah, that's what the cross the street, the gas station. You got to put it in the little microwave yourself. Turn the timer on. Ding. Well, thanks for the ham and cheese sandwich. Could have had BK, but you took that out. So now I don't have a reason to stop at Diamond Joe's anymore because I can't have BK.
Well, you guys can reach out to Chad at ShopSabre.com if you need anything.
Like how to get to
Just,
BK at
just new machines.
anything. My God.
Not anything, just new machines.
Jeez.
CNC questions and new machine orders.
What about you, Travis?
You can email Travis at ShopSabre.com if you want somebody who's not going to complain about what you're asking them to help you with.
Weather, advice. Just reach out to Travis.
Yeah.
That's all I got, guys. That's all I got. I think at this moment we need to get back at it. So I'm Brandon.
I'm Chad.
I'm Travis.
I'm Nick.
I'm Kyle.
Thanks for talking shop and shops there.